Ladies, gents, how are we all? I'm personally a little bit more relaxed now that I've heard that SJ is actually playing. There was some concern this morning that he's got the flu and no COVID symptoms, but that he might be out. So he's been named, thankfully, my captain. I'm sure a lot of you guys captain as well. But even if he didn't play, I had a look at the percentages. I think he's owned by 60 in the top 100, 50% the top 1,000, and then 35% the 5,000. So it would have been a big blow for us. And I had Walshy as vice, so we'll see how he goes anyway. But here we are for last night's game, the Dogs and the Roosters, and ended up being like half close game. I think we always kind of knew Roosters were going to win it in the end, but they made a lot harder on themselves than they should have. And Dogs played hard; they're fairly okay compared to what they did last week. And for anyone that jumped in and selected Josh Jackson, you were paid out handsomely there with 56 tackles and 99 meters gained. So amazing game for him. Obviously in these closer games that are a bit wet, these guys in the middle that play big minutes, 80 minutes in the middle for him, going to give him a great score. And he's now got an average of 54.6 after that 66 there, and should hopefully be a very serviceable middle and edge dual position player for the rest of the season. And at worst, he becomes one of your interchange players that if you've got like a Isaiah Papali'i, you've got the Fafitas, the Crichtons and stuff like that. It'll be just below that level, but could be really serviceable for your squad for the rest of the year. So that's Jackson there. Hargraves played 60 minutes for his 63. So again, a lot of the middles did really well here. Luke Thompson with 59, who has been a great pickup across the years, sort of scoring about where you'd expect him to in that mid-50s there. Did really well and got no negatives apart from one penalty, so that was good. Isaac Liu, Victor Radley, all these guys here. So we'll start back up with Manu there as our only sort of outside back that did really well in this game, and that was on the back of 290 run meters, 5 kick defusals, 6 tackle breaks, and a try. So awesome work for him. I own him in my squad, and that's really helped me out this week. As we've said in the past, every time he plays fullback, he's gonna score a lot better because he gets to run the ball a lot more. And so as he runs the ball more, he gets more tackle breaks and the odd try or try assist there. So Manu did great. He should move back to the centres over the next few weeks unless Teddy gets rested. So that's that one there. If you move to Radley, and a few people like, well, he's an interesting pick at 438, and he actually scored pretty well last week also. So for me, this is probably the week to get him. I wouldn't be going to select him over the next bunch of weeks. He always, has that suspension worry, for example. They're obviously a little bit more relaxed on that rule at the moment, but for Victor, that price is very, very intriguing. What are you using him as is another scorer, though. So if you're one of those teams that may be sitting in the top 3,000 or something like that, so your team value is not super incredible, then it might be you turn to these types of guys that are going to play pretty decent minutes that could get you like a 45 to 55 on any given night. That could help you out in that sort of 16, 17 jersey. So Victor could be one of those guys, but I probably would have selected him this week just because he should go up a little bit in price now. But also you would bring him in for around 17 is probably the better option there. Lockie Lewis come in with a couple of tries, and obviously he took over a lot of the kick meters, which are not ideal for any Avarillo owners, which we'll get to fairly shortly. But I think his kicking game was a little bit better. He actually kicked the ball a bit higher this time. So usually he just has a little 20-meter high little chips and stuff that he does for some stupid reason. Anyway, he got 55, but he's not going to be an option. Corey Waddell got 80 minutes for 51, so that was good, but a weird price. Tupanua had a couple of try assists, Tupanua had a try. Sam Walker had a couple of try assists. So both scored decently if you still have them, but I'd be looking to move both of them on fairly soon, just for the way that them just because they're not exactly keepers at this stage of the season. Ikavali with a decent score. We got Shup. If you had to play him, you picked up 39. So if you had got him ages ago, you've I suppose the early cash out, non-cash cow, worked out okay for you with 39. Avarillo, this is the worry now. So half the kick meters that Lockie Lewis has, and will Flanagan get back into the team, and will he continue to play a running role, or will Lewis stay? And if Lewis stays, you'd imagine he's going to keep majority of the kicking, which is not ideal. I really didn't run the ball much last night, so just literally as soon as I picked him up, he's got 48, 30, and 33 or something. So shocker, not what you're looking for when you're paying 700k for someone. So especially in this round when we need him to score well, not good at all. So that's that with Avarillo. It'd be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks. We are needing to start picking it back up again and getting close to those 50 plus scores because not good enough on his part. Tell us, 23% owned. So not ridiculous, but probably would have been a little bit more, you'd imagine. Joshy Morris, Verrills with 28. So again, 40 tackles to get 28 points. He's just not the player that he used to be. 3 missed tackles, 3 errors, a couple of random forward passes and shit like that. So yeah, not nowhere near what he was like in that title run or the couple of years of title runs where he'd come off the bench and do really well. Just not running the ball. I don't know if it's the confidence thing, if it's coming off the injuries. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, not doing the job. But yeah, serviceable as a cash out if you got him pretty cheap, like I did a bunch of weeks ago. If you traded him in for this week, then he's only got 28, which is annoying. But that's that with that one. And then you got Lockie Lamb off the bench, Renu for Tony. So another one of those guys that people are like, yeah, he's a good option in that mid range, and you pick him up and then he ends up getting dropped, and now he's on the bench losing your money if you still own him. So that's that there. And Corey Allen just out there absolutely dominating as per usual. Same with Joey Simpson with his 17 and his 39 minutes. So yeah, Billy Smith come in the centers, just stuffed me up without having Suwali, of course. But that's that. Jesus, what did I do just then? Anyway, let's move it back to have a look at the people squad and see where we're at here. All right, so I've put into some weird view. There you go, we're back. 161 points with 3 players remaining. So Johnson, Ramian, and also Walsh. So I'd imagine with 3 players, I think most people have 2 to 3 players in this game. So ranked 746. I'd hope we can get down into the 600s at least. My personal team had a couple of extra players and sitting on about 260 odd, down to about 1300 in the rank at the moment after being 2500. So shows you what you can do with a couple extra players in these buy rounds, as to how you can really improve your ranks during this buy period, and then hopefully coming out of it and dominating from then on in. If you've got enough trades left, 10 trades is going to be pretty serviceable over the next period. If we can get to sort of in the 600s or so, having Johnson as captain, Ramian, and also Walsh, I think if we can get somewhere near that 500 mark, I think we can really launch into the rest of the season and get maybe like a top 400, top 500, top 300 finish. I think it'd be pretty cool for our debut people squad. But there you go, guys. We'll leave that video at that one. Obviously a bit shorter this week with only the one game on each of the nights. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like, subscribe. Really appreciate it. We'll go on to the next game. Enjoy the Sharks game. We'll go from there. See you guys.